Hey, welcome to Maximum Bat Speed. Want to do a video for you today, and this video is called the disc drill, or the Frisbee drill. Now, this video right here, it should help you tremendously with how to get more range in your swing, how to get excellent extension in your swing, and more power. Now, right here, we have Paul McBeth on the left, and those of you who might follow disc golf, he's one of the most elite players in the PDGA. He's a world champion, has some amazing mechanics when it comes to throwing a disc. It's one of the reasons why he is who he is. And over here on the right, we have Josh Hamilton. Played in the MLB, was one of the elite players when he was playing, had almost hit 300, had a lot of home runs, hit with tremendous power, tremendous range in his swing. Now, before we get started here, I just want to ask you, please subscribe to my channel. Please give me a like if you like this video. I have about 100 videos out there that I truly believe will help you to be a better player. I have a before and after swings, just a lot of different areas of hitting baseball and softball that I think will definitely help you improve. Now, one of the things that separates elite players from non-elite players is the way they're able to stay in the zone so much longer than players that are not elite, okay? What amateur players do, or players that are not so elite, they tend to, if you have a child, you've probably seen this, they pull off the ball, they start rolling the wrists, they start doing all these kind of things that don't seem to match up to what you see the best players in the world do. Okay, so watch what's going on right here, and we'll just start with the left with Paul McBeth. Okay, again, a world champion disc thrower. Watch how he starts his throw right here. Now, if you watch my channels, you always hear me say, let the lead elbow work up to the height of the mouth. Watch what he does as he starts to throw this disc right here. And what he's doing right here, he's pretty much throwing the disc in this kind of area right here in this direction. He's kind of to the right, a little bit to his right here. So watch what's going on right here. As he starts to have the lead elbow work up to the height of the mouth, he lets his arms get to the point where he has kind of a hinge move. By that, I mean, watch his elbow. As he gets there, his tricep, his bicep pretty much stays there. And then from there, he lets his arm extend beautifully right to the area in which he's throwing. And you can see that his chest and his arms, everything is going into the direction in which he wants to throw all that power, all that force. So right now, his chest, his arms, everything is pointing pretty much in the direction that he wants to go. Again, watch what's going on right here. As he starts to get into his throwing right there, and this is going to correlate beautifully with what I'm going to try to help you to do later with a drill when it comes to getting an elite extension and just getting much more power in your swing. Watch what he does here. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because when I'm working with students, I actually have them throw a disc or a Frisbee, just like you see Paul doing here, to help them to understand what it feels like to have an elite extension. So what I basically do is I tell them, I said, okay, if you're a right-handed player, okay, I want you to throw the Frisbee or the disc to the second baseman, okay, not second base, the second baseman, and I want you to release it with a line drive with the disc, and I want you to just throw it, and I want you just to make sure that as you throw it, okay, and I have them pretty much pause right about right here. I don't let them go all the way around, and what I'm looking for at this stage of the swing or this stage of the drill, I want their chest to be pointing to the second baseman. I want their arms to be pointing to the second baseman. I want their face, eyes, everything looking to the second baseman, and just let everything release like that, okay? Now, watch what's going on right here on the right with Josh Hamilton, okay? He does this so beautifully. Again, one of the better players that ever played the game in his era, had tremendous power, and watch what he's doing. Lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth, barrel below the hands. Watch how his lead arm and his arms extend beautifully right there. Both arms fully extended, barrel below the hands, barrel below the hands, barrel below the hands. Look at that. And again, watch the lead arm, what he does. Watch how he lets that lead arm is fully extended. There's no flexion in there. And if you compare that to what Paul's doing on the left, you can see that the mechanics and the athletic motion that's used in throwing a disc is very similar to what an elite player does when he's actually applying elite mechanics, okay? See what's going on right there? This is just beautiful right there. So again, if we back this up, Watch what's going on right here. You're going to see that the mechanics of both Paul and what you see here with Josh on the right are very similar. Now, this drill right here that I'm recommending to you, I truly believe it's going to help you if you're working with your child, if you have a Frisbee or a disc, have them do this. Have them, if they're a right-handed player, just have them extend their arm, just how you see Paul on the left. And again, have their chest, their arm, everything pointing to the second baseman. You don't want them, and it might take a little while, because trust me, when I do this drill with players, a lot of them don't throw it where I want them to at first. It takes time for the body to get used to it, okay? So again, you see what he's doing right there. And again, if you have a baseball bat in your hand, watch what's going on with Josh Hamilton. Notice how the bat and the arm, they're all pretty much lined up together. Now, again, as he continues, watch Josh on the right. Notice how it's still together, okay? In other words, there's no bending, there's no flexion. He continues to allow the bat to stay all in one orbit, all pretty much in one line, okay? I don't want any bending or any twisting of the arm. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you another player, a couple other players, so that you can kind of get an idea of how other players apply it. And you can see that Josh is not kind of the exception to the rule, that you'll see other players that actually apply this beautifully, okay? So let me just get this thing right here, and let me see here. Now, if you watch here what's going on with the softball player here, watch what's going on right here. Again, watch how the lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth. And you can see here that the barrel's below the hands. Now, this is really important for you ladies out there, because a lot of you ladies out there, you know, you're flipping through the ball and that you're doing all kinds of different things that you don't see with the most elite players in the world. Watch what's going on there. Watch her lead elbow right there. Watch what happens. Again, like that hinge move I'm talking about. Watch how that lead elbow stays there. And then the lead arm gets to full extension right there. And watch how she stays. Again, just like we saw earlier with the other, with Josh Hamilton, and what you see here with Paul McBeth. You can see here that the chest is pointing that way. You can see how the lead arm is pointing that way, just like I was just telling you, like if you were throwing a disc, okay? Now, there's a few things that you have to keep in mind here. As you see this softball player doing this, it's an elite player here from Oklahoma, one of the best places you can play for college softball. Watch what's going on right there. Watch how her arms are fully extended. Now, at this stage of the swing, there's something to keep in mind here, okay? And this is really important to understand. If you're going to do this drill correctly, notice how on the left hand, okay, how the lead hand, there's about a 45-degree angle going this way, but you can see here that in the trail hand, it's a palm up, okay, palm up. This is crucial. It's crucial that you understand that when you go, again, as you hit the ball, okay, watch what's going on here so we can break this down slowly for you. So when you do this, and when you do a drill, you want to really do it at turtle speed. You really want to only hit the ball maybe 10 feet if that, because all you're working on is on your mechanics right now. So you're going to leave the lead elbow right there and just let your arms extend like a hinge move. Watch how both her arms right here are fully extended. So at this stage of the swing, it's very obvious that both her arms now are fully extended. Both arms are fully extended, and watch what's going on. Just like Josh Hamilton, barrel below the hands. The chest is pointing in this direction, just like, again, like if you were throwing a disc to the second baseman area, okay, where the arms, all right, the chest, okay, everything is pointing in the direction of the second baseman. Now, again, watch what's going on here. This is also very important. I didn't bring this up with Josh Hamilton, but what he did is exactly what this young lady's doing as well. Watch what happens. Now, when you get an elite extension like this, when your arms stretch out like what's going on right here with the player on the right, eventually, because your arms are so fully extended, you're going to release the top hand or the trail hand, because if you don't, your right hand is going to cause you to lose range or start flipping through the ball if you don't have a top hand release. Now, watch what's going on. By that, I mean this. Watch what's going on with her trail hand, with her right hand. As she continues to swing, Her arms are fully extended, fully extended. Now she can't hold on anymore, because if she did, the bat would most likely again be flipping and she'd be losing range. So what she does here, you can see here, she does what Paul McBeth was doing, what Josh Hamilton was doing, where that lead arm is beautifully extended. Look at that. And she has to release that bat. She has to release it with the top hand. Watch, she releases it. She releases it, okay? She releases it. This is what you see with the best players in the world. Watch how her chest is pointing in the direction of the second baseman. It's almost like, imagine if she had a disc in her hand and she had to release it right there. See that? Just like this. Now again, if we look at Paul again, he's releasing it and just staying right there, just releasing it, just like if he had a bat in his hand and he was swinging right there. Just say he was right there and releasing it. His lead arm, just say that was had a bat in his hand would be released about right here, because he couldn't hold on to it anymore. If he did, the arm starts to flex and you start losing range, okay? This is why this is really important to understand this drill. Now, what I'm going to do here is show you another player here so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on right here. All right, so here we have Miguel Cabrera. Any of you who follow baseball know that he is the first time in like 45 years in the modern era that someone has received the Triple Crown. Just amazing, amazing hitter. And one of the reasons why he's been able to hit over 300 with power and hit for average and has accomplished what he's accomplished in his career is because of his mechanics of exactly what I'm referring to here when it comes to having more range, being able to extend to and through the ball with tremendous power. Now watch what's going on here. Lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth. He hits to and through the ball with both his arms fully extended with barrel below the hands. Now watch what he does with that lead hand on the top, the trail hand. Watch how he releases it, just like Josh Hamilton, just like the young lady I just showed you. Why? Because if you don't do this, you're not going to be able to have the range that a lot of players that don't do this. Now, can you get away with not releasing that top hand like this? Of course you can, but that does not mean that if you do not apply this, the players that don't do it, that they would even be better. They would even be better if they applied what you saw with Josh Hamilton, what you're seeing here with Miguel Cabrera. Again, there's a reason why Miguel Cabrera got the Triple Crown. There's a reason why for year after year, he's been able to produce tremendous, tremendous numbers. Watch what he's doing here. Just like if you were throwing a disc. Again, watch what's going on. He's throwing the disc. Just imagine he's throwing the disc. And what do you see here? Again, watch what's going on. The chest is pointing that way. The arms are pointing that way. His eyes are pointing that way, just like if he was throwing a disc. And that's why, again, look on the left. Watch what's going on here. Apply this disc, grab a disc, get a Frisbee, and do this with your players and have them just stop right there, just like this. And you want to make sure that when they're applying this drill, that the chest is pointing to the second baseman. Again, the arm is pointing to the second baseman. Everything is pointing in that direction. This will help them. And the key, again, when you're doing this, if you watch this drill, watch what's going on here. The lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth, and watch how the right here. If he was releasing this right here, see how his arms fully extended right here. If this was a bat, the barrel would be below the hands. The barrel would be below the hands. This would allow a player, if he had a bat in his hand, applying the technique that Paul is doing here, to have tremendous range, tremendous power, being able to just release it at the perfect time, barrel below the hands, and just release it with a beautiful orbit. Look at that, no breakdown of the lead arm. So again, we go back to Miguel Cabrera. Watch what's going on with him as he swings. He just watch how that top hand, watch how he releases it, he releases it, okay? In order for you to have this extra range, because what happens is once you get your arms fully extended like this is going to help you to release that bat like throwing a disc out there, and not to let the right hand get in the way of it causing you to roll over. This is, again, one of the best players in modern history right here. Now, I'll go ahead and get another player. A lot of you out there are familiar with Crystal Bustos, and I'm going to pull her up here for you in a second here. Now, any of you who have been following softball for quite a while know that Crystal Bustos played for Team USA, was one of the most powerful hitters in her time when she played. Just amazing, amazing mechanics. Now, with her, watch what's going on with her. Again, now she's going to catch a ball quite a bit out in front. And because she applies the same mechanics that I'm just referring to, watch how the lead elbow, again, the lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth. Okay, barrel below the hands, barrel below the hands. She catches a ball way out in front. And again, by applying those mechanics, okay, those mechanics where you allow your arms to get fully extended. Okay, this is so crucial for you to understand this, to let the arms get fully extended. Now, if we go right here, one frame before that, her arms are almost fully extended right here. And watch what's going on right here. This allows her to be able, again, to have tremendous range by keeping the barrel below the hands with the arms fully extended. Now, watch what's going on right here. Just like I just mentioned earlier, watch her arms, watch her top hand, watch her right hand. What happens? Look what happens. See how she has that top hand release? And watch the orbit. The orbit of the bat is just almost identical to Josh Hamilton, to that young lady I just mentioned, showed you earlier, and also to Miguel Cabrera. This is what you see with the most elite players that ever played the game. And again, just because not all these players don't do it doesn't mean they should not be doing it. Now, I see a lot of players in the MLB doing this. I see a lot of players that play high-level softball doing this, but this is not really talked about very much. But again, think about this logically, how much extra range you have if you have the barrel below the hands for a long period of time, just like this. Let your arms fully extend. Let them extend, and just let that top hand release. And again, you can see the angle of the bat. It's almost in a straight line right here, just like you did with the other players. This is a very, very elite and powerful and very just beautiful swing to learn to apply, so that when you're out there and you get off-speed pitches, it's going to give you more range, more power, and the ability to really hit the ball even, tremendously far and with a lot of power. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just show you the drill that I was referring to, okay? And right here, I'm just going to put this on pause right now, and you can see right here with what I'm doing with the student right here, his arms at this stage of the swing, this is post-contact, his arms are fully extended, barrels below the hands, okay? The chest is pointing to the area of the second baseman, and I'm pretty much having him pause, and then from there, I have them do a top hand release, and I'll get into that in a second. But what this does, what it produces very, very elite mechanics. Again, we have Miguel Cabrera, just like I just mentioned earlier, one of the greatest hitters in modern history, just still playing, barrel below the hands right here. Look at this. Everything is pointing to the area in which he's hitting. You can see that there's a lot of similarities of my student on the left and Miguel Cabrera on the right, okay? So again, if we erase all this and we'll just look at Miguel Cabrera again, watch what's going on right here. As he starts to get into swing, the lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth, and you can see here how the barrel below the hands, and then what does he do? Beautiful top hand release with that arm being fully extended, just beautiful. And this arm in the front is in plane with his shoulders. Everything is just in a beautiful orbit. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. It's so crucial for players to understand that applying this particular mechanics, okay, these kind of mechanics like I share with you in my channel, letting the lead elbow work up to the height of the mouth, okay? And there's a lot of things that go into this before that. So if you know about my channel, you know I talk a lot about pullback, resistance, balance, all that stuff. I have a lot of videos on that. But in this particular video, again, if Miguel Cabrera had a disc in his hand and he wanted to throw it to the second baseman, he would release it right there with his arms fully extended, fully extended. Now, what you see with Paul, when he was throwing the disc, he keeps his arm down, of course, because he's throwing a disc. But if he was to have his hand on a disc with two hands, he would eventually, what he would do as he starts having his arms go in orbit, he would release, okay, release the top hand. So in other words, what you see here with all the players I showed you right here, the lead, the tray arms extended, the lead arms extended, and the bat is all working in one beautiful orbit, one beautiful orbit. Watch this, barrel below the hands. Everything is pointing to the direction, again, to the second baseman, pretty much everything is in this way. And then after he releases the disc or the bat or just hitting the ball, everything works in a beautiful, beautiful orbit. Now, watch what's going on here with my student, and I'm just going to just play this for you so you can kind of see the drill that we did. And you can see here that what's going on right here, as he swings, I had him hit with the arms fully extended. Make sure he holds his finish where his chest and everything is pointing to the second baseman, and watch how he releases the bat, everything in one orbit. Okay, so I had him hit to and through the ball. I made sure the barrel was below the hands, both arms fully extended. And from there, I said, okay, let's do a top hand release. Okay, this is crucial. Again, barrel below the hand, everything pauses, and then I have him do a top hand release. So I'm telling him at this stage of the swing, okay, and it took him a while to get used to doing this correctly, because what he did when he was first doing this, he had a little too much flexion in his arms. His chest was pulling off, in other words, where his chest and his arms were pointing to pretty much to the shortstop at the time. So I told him, you're losing too much range, you're losing too much power, you're not staying with the ball, you're not going to and through the ball. So again, by the end of the session, he did a beautiful job of just consistently letting his arms get fully extended, barrel below the hands, and he was able to stay. You can see here how the tee was. Now, if you were in front of the tee, his barrel was literally staying in the path of the pitch so much longer. Before, it was literally coming off way too quickly. By the end of the session, his bat was going to and through, therefore giving him a range from about here to over here, where before his range was pretty much from here to pretty much right here. Okay, there's a big difference. You look at the difference between a player coming off the ball only getting this much range compared to getting all the way extra, all this extra space. Now, having a long career, whether you're playing baseball or softball, now the difference between a player that's cutting off prematurely, okay, cutting off prematurely, and a player that's able to keep the barrel below the hands, to and through the ball, just like this, it's going to help you. It's going to help you tremendously to become a much better player. So again, as I just mentioned, this is the drill. I had him pause, and then from there, I said, okay, extend, where you can't hold on to it anymore, and see how the top hand releases right there, where he couldn't hold on to it anymore. So basically what was going on right here, I said, okay, once you get to the point where you fully extend, now I said extend, and right there, he couldn't hold on to it anymore. So what does he have to do? He has to let go of the bat with his arm. Look at that, how his arm is just so beautifully extended, all in one, just all in one line. All his arm, look at this, beautiful, beautiful how everything is. So his lead arm, his tray arm, lead arm, his shoulders are all, if you were looking at it from the pitcher's view, they would all be in one plane, okay? So again, if we look at this, I'm going to finish off by just saying this drill right here has really been a very successful drill with me as a coach, with my players, to teach them how to stay to and through the ball, how to get an elite extension, how to have more range, and allow them to become a far more productive player on a team, okay? Again, please give me a like if you like this video. I really enjoy doing videos for you guys, and when you give me likes, it just encourages me to continue to just making more and more videos. Again, thank you from Maximum Bat Speed. I really appreciate you watching my channel. You guys have a great day. All right, thank you so much.